I grew up in an orphanage. I was notorious for being a sharp-tongued demon kid. The headmaster once said he dreamed that his wife, who had run off with another man, came back to see him last night. I said, only the dead visit people in dreams. When human traffickers tried to trick the neighbor's child. I said, don't answer. A shapeshifter disguised in human skin is seeking recognition. After I was taken back into a wealthy family, I discovered that the fake young master who never got along with me was being entangled by a gold digger. I asked him, only vengeful spirits cling to people. Have you seen a spiritual master? He wouldn't listen. He was determined to become her simp. He said, you don't understand. When we video called just now, she looked at me with deep affection. She loves me. She's definitely not after my money. I said, when pigs lift their heads, it means they're about to devour someone. The fake young master was speechless. My parents stuffed 1 million yuan into my hands, encouraging me to keep going. They said, if you can speak, then speak more. Whether he can be cured depends on you. But then I realized, there's also a younger sister in this family, who's obsessed with challenging the limits of life itself. This costs extra. Chapter 1. On the day the wealthy family came to take me back, the orphanage director warned me dozens of times. Remember, put on an act for 5 minutes, and you get a lifetime of wealth and luxury. You absolutely must watch your mouth. So when my parents held me and cried, saying how sorry they were that I'd suffered all these years, I forcibly swallowed the sharp remark that almost slipped out. Are you blind or what? I'm tall and sturdy, and I was the top scorer in the National College entrance exam. One look and you could tell the orphanage raised me just fine. But still, ever since I was little, I've been a bit different from other kids. I've got a vicious tongue, sharp and merciless. Once, the director woke up in the middle of the night, drank himself silly, and reminisced about his ex-wife who had run off with another man. I was still young then, and I delivered a brutal comment. Only dead people visit you in dreams. He wailed, but my ex-wife is all I can think about. I just can't forget her. I said, the living and the dead walk different paths. She's trying to claim your life. From that day on, the director never dared to think about his ex-wife again. He cherished his life too much. Later, the young gardener got scammed out of 200,000 by his online girlfriend and got dumped. He still blamed himself for being poor, thinking that was why he couldn't keep her, and spent his days completely dejected. I tried to comfort him. Even though your mental development never fully matured, your bones are already starting to lose density. But it's fine, at least you're still extremely tight on cash. The guy gritted his teeth. If you weren't a kid, I'd beat you to death. I said, you kill me, you break the law. I kill you. I'm protected by juvenile law. That day, I pissed him off so badly he went and signed up for the bar exam. He stopped reminiscing about his ex and focused instead on legally figuring out how to kill me. After he passed and started making 7 figures a year, he still didn't have the heart to do it. He just patted my head and sighed. With that mouth of yours, what are you going to do when you grow up and enter society? If you ever get beaten up, call me. I'll be your lawyer. What's there to be afraid of? I'm cautious of others, and I'm not exactly harmless myself, but everyone I've met has been pretty decent. I think I've been lucky, and now, an even bigger stroke of luck has arrived. A wealthy family in City A, the Liu family, claimed that I'm the son they lost years ago. For the sake of wealth and luxury, I kept my mouth shut the entire trip. Even when I got home and saw the fake young master and the adopted younger sister, I continued playing mute. My parents introduced them to me. George, these are the children of our friends. After their parents died in an accident, we adopted them. From now on, they're your older brother and younger sister. The older brother was expressionless. The younger sister looked openly disgusted. Neither of them liked me. That's fine. I don't like people who dislike me either. After all, now that I'm back, I have my own little agenda. Chapter 2. Dinner that night, my older brother Luis was the first to come after me. Pig trotter in my left hand, chicken drumstick in my right. He ate broccoli with plain boiled chicken breast, and while chewing, put on an affected, preachy tone and lectured me. Look at you. No ambition at all. Let me tell you, what matters most for a man is self-discipline. Binge eating and indulging yourself just to satisfy your appetite doesn't only damage your physical health, it erodes your willpower. If a person can't even control his own weight, how can he control his life? Someone like that is destined to never amount to anything. What the hell? Why do I suddenly have another dad? I tried my best to rein in my vicious tongue. My mom quickly gestured for Luis to shut up and whispered, don't say that. Don't say that. Your brother only got meat once a week at the orphanage, and his school cafeteria was completely vegetarian. He's had a hard life. Luis fell silent. He pushed his boiled chicken breast toward me and said, hey, do you want? Buzz buzz. Suddenly, a video call popped up on his phone. He immediately answered it. From up close, I caught a glimpse of the woman on the screen. Fat and ugly. Yet she called Luis husband. She said, husband. My stomach is thundering. Louise smiled. Okay, then I'll order you some delivery. But she replied, just pay for it for me. I've already ordered, 653 in total. I was speechless, thundering. What? Is there a Thor living in her stomach? Louise didn't hesitate at all. He agreed instantly and transferred the money. Then she said again, husband, have you been working out lately? I'm really looking forward to your six-pack. Louise immediately lifted his shirt and took a photo for her. She said happily, you've improved. Then she continued, baby, it's not that I'm picky. It's just that my girlfriend's boyfriends are all tall, rich, handsome guys with six-pack abs. My girlfriends always say we're not a good match and that you're not good enough for me. You know I really listen to my girlfriends. I won't even date someone unless they approve first. And working out is good for your health. I'm doing this for your own good. She added. But you still haven't gotten abs after a whole month. So you need to learn a lesson. I'll punish you by making you transfer me 10,000. Okay, Louise said cheerfully and sent the money. My mom's face turned iron blue. She gritted her teeth and complained to me in a low voice. We can't control him anymore. I have no idea what kind of mind control that Vixen, no, that pig demon, used on your brother. She keeps emotionally manipulating him, squeezing money out of him, demanding luxury bags and gifts. Your dad has yelled at him, beaten him, and forced him to break up with that gold digger countless times. But he just kneels and begs her to get back together every time. Jesus Christ, this is competition-level simp behavior. I couldn't hold it in anymore. I leaned over. Louise had already ended the call. I asked sharply, only vengeful spirits cling to people. Have you tried seeing a spiritual master? He snapped, furious. What the hell do you know? Sophia is really beautiful when she live streams. She just didn't turn on the beauty filter. I was speechless. I said, I get it. You've got a thing for ugly people. Louise frowned. Don't judge people by their looks. Inner beauty is what truly matters. He argued back. Then he said, and don't keep calling her a gold digger. She spends my money because she loves me. Otherwise, why doesn't she spend other people's money? That proves she loves me down to the bone. I asked. And you tasted that by sucking her marrow? Louise was speechless. His lips moved, but he couldn't come up with a rebuttal. Then his phone buzzed again. Sophia sent him a WeChat message. Her tone seductive. Husband, I'm staying at a hotel tonight. I even bought a special battle outfit. He shot to his feet. Mom, Dad, you eat first. I'm going to see Sophia. Bang. My dad slammed his chopsticks down, finally snapping. If you dare walk out that door today, we won't acknowledge you as our son anymore. You idiot. Sophia doesn't love you at all. What she loves is money. Louise said righteously. I won't allow you to talk about Sophia like that. She's my woman, my future wife. What we have is true love. This kind of love is something you'll probably never understand. When she video called me just now, we looked deeply into each other's eyes. She definitely loves me, not my money. I couldn't control my mouth again. I said, what deep eye contact. When a pig lifts its head, it's about to eat someone. Louise instantly went quiet. His eyes filled with confusion. What do you mean? He asked. I directly pulled up news videos about pigs attacking people. The way the pig lifted its head and stared looked exactly like Sophia just now. I leaned in close to Louise's ear and whispered like a devil, bro, she's craving meat. Shut the hell up. The roar echoed through the entire villa. Louise was so frightened by me that he scrambled back to his room, tumbling and crawling. Then bang, locked the door. He definitely wasn't coming out tonight, because I was going to loop those videos outside his door. Heh. Our parents stood there, stunned. My mom said, I honestly can't tell if he's just sharp-tongued, or some kind of demon child. My dad said, George, here, 1 million, a reward for how well you performed tonight. Whether he can be cured or not depends on you. A bank card was stuffed into my hand. My eyes lit up. I said, leave it to me. You can relax. Grinning happily, I headed upstairs, but under the crystal chandelier in the hallway, I saw what looked like a human-shaped ornament. Curves in all the right places. Long legs. Shockingly realistic. I walked closer and finally saw clearly. It was my sister, Willow. Chapter 3. I tilted my head up. Willow was standing on a stool, a rope already tied. Her delicate little face so beautiful it didn't seem real. I asked, hey, little sis, what are you doing? She spoke faintly. I want to have a romance with Senior Rope, let him keep me hanging forever. I said flatly. Are you sure this isn't just hanging yourself? Willow corrected me. This is called letting life sway with the wind. Oh, kind of artsy. This one. She stared at her phone gloomily. She said, Makoto isn't going to reply to my messages anyway. What's the point of me being alive? I glanced at the chat window. A whole screen full of green messages. All of them were long, emotional essays she'd sent, so I couldn't stop my sharp tongue and said, does waiting for his reply come with cashback or something? She replied, you don't get it. This is what we call a toxic romance. I really didn't get it, I said. If you like suffering love so much, why not date an old man? You'd get to experience life and death separation and enjoy emotions no one else in the world could ever understand. Willow choked. Her phone buzzed. Makoto finally replied. Don't send messages like this next time. My girlfriend is here. She'll be unhappy. She immediately typed back. Then when will your girlfriend not be around? I'll message you secretly. My eyes went wide. Jesus Christ, does the Liu family mass produce simps or something? Is the feng shui here that cursed? Makoto stopped replying. Willow went back to fiddling with the noose. I hurriedly tried to talk her down. Willow, stop thinking you're the center of the universe. Even if you hang here until you can't breathe, Makoto will still be over there having deep emotional exchanges with his girlfriend. Willow started trembling. She cracked, broke down completely. She cried like a boiling kettle. Woo woo woo. I panicked. Hey, don't make it look like I bullied you. Hearing the crying, our parents rushed over. My heart jumped. I can explain. But the next second, my mom said joyfully, "That's wonderful." Willow finally cried. I was full of question marks. Our parents explained. Your sister's been toyed with by a scumbag named Makoto, dating someone else while keeping her on the hook. Every time she tries to give up, Makoto gives her a bit of hope. Back and forth, over and over. She got depressed and kept talking about dying. The doctor said she's emotionally repressed and needs to release it. Your dad and I scolded her so many times, but we couldn't get her to cry. You did it in one shot. I fell into deep thought. Treating two of them now, that definitely costs extra. My dad seemed to read my mind. He took out his phone and tapped a few times. George, keep it up. Cure your sister too. 500,000 transferred. Chapter 4. I got into University A, the same school as Willow and Luis. Willow took a leave of absence to recover. So only Luis and I went to school together. Before leaving, I deliberately reminded Willow of one thing. Little sis, whatever you do, don't compare the toughness of your wrists with a razor blade. No matter how sharp the blade is, it'll never be as hard as Makoto's heart last night. Willow broke down again. She collapsed onto the table, sobbing. As for Luis, he hadn't slept well after being scared half to death by me last night. He looked drained the entire way, but once we arrived at school, he transferred 20,000 to me. He awkwardly turned his face away and said, "Eat whatever you want at the cafeteria. You've got your big brother now. You don't need to force yourself to eat only vegetables just to save money anymore." He still remembered what my mom had said at the dinner table. The truth was, the orphanage only served meat once a week because we used to eat rich food every day and constantly got indigestion. So the director had to change the rules. As for my high school cafeteria being fully vegetarian, it was just because the school mixed me up with someone else and thought I had some special religious belief. I was just about to explain when Sophia showed up. Short legs, fat body, dressed in a loud hot pink outfit. Anyone who didn't know better would think she was cosplaying Umbridge. Her skin tone especially, eerily pig-like. Luis instantly remembered that video. His face turned a little pale. Sophia didn't notice at all. She pinched her voice and said, "Husband, why didn't you come last night? And you didn't reply to my messages either." Then she said, "I get it now. You were afraid of hurting me. Afraid of staining my purity. You really respect women so much." She paused, then continued. "Oh right, why didn't you transfer me breakfast money this morning? Is it because you think I ate too much yesterday? Do you think I spend too much of your money?" No, Luis blurted out in a panic. "How could that be? I just woke up late and forgot. I'll transfer it right now." Sophia beamed. My girlfriends all say this. Any man who's reluctant to spend money on a woman is absolutely not marriage material. If you start penny pinching, I'll completely lose all attraction to you." Then she added sharply, "And you woke up this late today. Does that mean you skipped your workout again? No self-discipline at all. I hate fat slobs with no self-control the most. I'm fining you. Transfer me 10,000. Staring at that Peppa Pig-looking face, I honestly couldn't figure out how she had the nerve to look down on Luis. My sharp tongue slipped before I could stop it. I asked, "At home, do you usually walk around on all fours?" Only then did she notice me. She tilted her head. "And you are?" I said. "I'm Luis's younger brother." I sized her up and continued calmly. "Actually, the reason my brother didn't go see you last night was because he was afraid that once you took your clothes off, there'd be red and blue inspection stamps. And judging by how you look, you probably fight pigs for feet every now and then." Sophia finally realized I was insulting her. She got so angry she started panting. She screeched, "Luis, you actually let your brother humiliate me. I'm not talking to you for the rest of the day." "Not like that. Sophia, listen to me." Luis panicked and ran after her. He didn't catch up. When he came back, he pointed at me and accused, "George, why would you insult my girlfriend like that? She's beautiful and kind. She even feeds the stray cats on campus all the time. Spend more time with her and you'll understand." I directly shoved a fried chicken burger into Luis's mouth. What nonsense was he even babbling about? He shouted angrily. I'm in my cutting phase. How could you make me eat this kind of junk food? Yet while yelling, he chewed very honestly. Chew, chew, chew. After half a year of boiled chicken breast with no seasoning, suddenly tasting real food, he couldn't bear to spit it out, but still felt guilty. He said, I'm such a sinner. Chew, chew, chew. Then he asked, got any more? I asked, not working out anymore. Luis flipped me off, grabbed all my burgers, and ran. For the sake of those 20,000, I didn't argue with him. Luis and I weren't in the same year. He was a sophomore, but I heard Sophia wasn't even in the same department, so they didn't have many chances to see each other. I felt temporarily relieved and went to class. Close to noon, I got a message from Luis. Wait for me at North Park. Let's go to the cafeteria together. But the moment I arrived, I got surrounded by several people. Standing beside the ringleader was none other than Sophia. She pointed at me furiously. Brother Martin. It's him. He's the one who insulted me. I've never been called a pig in my entire life. Martin, you have to stand up for me. Then she shouted. Beat him up. Chapter 5. What the hell? Did Luis just backstab me? I didn't believe it. He doesn't have the brain for that. But the very next second, Luis appeared not far away. He stared at us in shock. George, Sophia, why are you together? Suddenly, his eyes went wide with fury. He yelled. You betrayed me. See, I told you, no brain. Sophia hooked her arm around Luis's and said sweetly. Husband, there's only you in my heart. I don't even look at other men. I heard he's the real heir. He came back to steal your identity and your inheritance. Don't you hate him too? When you chat with me, you complain about him all the time. There are no cameras here. You can beat him up however you like to vent. As for afterward, I'll accuse him of forcing himself on me. He won't be able to prove his innocence. He'll be ruined. Go to prison, and then the Liu family will be yours alone. Luis frowned. He looked tempted, but the next second, he raised his hand. Smack. A loud slap landed squarely on Sophia's chubby face. He shouted angrily. I don't get along with him, but that doesn't mean I want to ruin his entire life. How can you even think of doing something this vile? He turned his head and jerked his chin at me, signaling me to run. He'd hold them off. Stupid, sure, but not rotten. Sophia clutched her face and shrieked. You actually hit me, scumbag. My girlfriend said you have violent tendencies and I didn't believe them. I must have been blind to ever fall for you. Men really can't be trusted. Then she screamed. Brother Martin, hurry up and teach him a lesson. I was speechless. The guy in front raised his hand, signaling his buddies to move. Luis immediately stepped in front of them and shouted. None of you move. Damn it. George, run. But one fist can't stop four hands. He couldn't hold them off at all. Instead, he got thrown to the ground. I rolled my wrist. 3 moves. 5 seconds. All the punks were down. Luis stared at me, eyes wide in disbelief. Sophia was stunned too. Her voice trembled. You, how could you? As I walked closer, she shouted. A real man doesn't hit women. Smack. One slap sent her stumbling sideways. I replied calmly. My slaps don't discriminate, man, woman, young, old. Bang. One kick sent Sophia howling. Luis finally snapped out of it. George, why you? Go a bit easier. You don't have to hit that hard, I asked. Feeling sorry for her, I backhanded Sophia with another loud slap. Luis's heart clenched. He cried out. My baby. Boom. I grabbed Sophia and threw her into a clean back slam. I waited expectantly for Luis to say something. He didn't. There was no tenderness in his eyes anymore. Only fear. He said. After you're done beating her, you won't hit me too, right? Chapter 6. I'd gone a bit too hard, so I didn't hand Sophia or those punks over to the campus counselors. I just left them in the park to fend for themselves. After we walked out, Luis scratched his head, clearly wanting to say something but holding back. It wasn't until we were about to enter the cafeteria that he finally worked up the courage to ask me. George, can I tell Mom and Dad about what happened today? If I admit my mistakes myself, maybe they won't be as angry. He gave an awkward smile. I'm sorry, I didn't keep my phone safe and let Sophia message you. And it's also because of me that she targeted you. For once, I didn't go for a sharp comeback. I said. What happened today stays between you and me. There's no need to tell Mom and Dad. Luis froze for a moment, then quietly said, thank you. Still, he couldn't suppress his curiosity. After hesitating, he asked, how are you so good at fighting? Is it because you were bullied a lot when you were younger? Thinking of my past, a trace of bitterness crept into Luis's eyes. So I explained, when I was little, at the orphanage, I once noticed a human trafficker trying to lure a neighbor's child away. The men said, do I look more like your mom's younger brother, Or your brother-in-law? I pulled the kid over and said, don't answer. A shape-shifting monster wearing human skin is asking you for your identity. The trafficker got so angry he tried to hit me. I immediately turned around and yelled at the top of my lungs. Hey, uncle in the black leather jacket, your phone was stolen. The thief is right here. The trafficker, completely dumbfounded, got beaten senseless by passers-by and sent straight to the police station. When the director found out, he broke out in cold sweat and made every kid in the orphanage start learning boxing. After hearing all this, Luis fell silent. He didn't know whether to call me sharp-tongued or just insanely lucky. That night, we went home together. Mom and Dad were still at the company and hadn't come back yet. Only Willow was in the living room. She was holding a teacup, elegant and aloof. Luis was both surprised and delighted. He said, has little sis recovered that quickly? She even has the leisure to drink afternoon tea now. Willow spoke in a ghostly tone. I'm drinking a beverage that ensures crops can grow properly. I was full of question marks. Wait. My good Lord above. That's called drinking pesticide. Chapter 7. Good news. Willow hadn't had time to drink it yet. Bad news. She got played by that Makoto again. Holding her phone, eyes rimmed red, she choked out. He was praising me for being pretty during the day, but after I transferred him 10,000, he blocked me again. I couldn't help it. I pulled out my phone and asked. So the getting paid for compliments promo ended? Willow stared at me. Tears slid down silently, like she was condemning my vicious mouth. The very next second, her phone buzzed. Makoto sent, are you there? Willow. She instantly lit up and looked at me and Luis in panic. What do I do? What do I do? How should I reply? Help me think. While Luis was still pondering, my sharp tongue had already escaped. I said, Master, please feel free to command your little simp. She actually sent it, with a completely sincere expression. Then she asked. And then? I was speechless. I laughed in anger. Luis was also speechless. The bottom-ranked finally questioned the second-to-last ranked. Willow, can't you tell good advice from bad sarcasm? What exactly is so great about that Makoto that makes you degrade yourself like this? You don't understand. He's really different from everyone else, Willow said dreamily. Lost in memory, Makoto can see my soul. Everyone flatters me because I'm the Liu family's precious daughter. Only he understands that I'm a sensitive, somewhat fragile girl, longing deep down to be loved and taken care of. The more I listened, the more familiar it sounded. I subconsciously continued. Did he also say that you were hurt in past relationships, so you pretend to be cold and push away people who like you, that you lack a sense of security, so you keep testing whether the other person truly loves you, but in the end, you push everyone away with your own hands, leaving only yourself? Willow froze. How did you know? She asked. Did you see my soul too? I replied flatly. No, I saw a trending video on TikTok. I pulled up those generic fortune-telling scripts I'd scrolled past before. Turns out her soulmate was mass-produced fantasy. Willow's world collapsed. Shaking her head, she said, this has to be fake. You two must have staged all this to trick me. I smiled. Relax, sis. You're not worth that many netizens wasting their time. Willow burst into loud sobs. I was just about to comfort her. Luis quickly covered my mouth. Enough. You're not allowed to speak anymore. I don't want to lose my sister. With that, he went to console Willow. He said, little sis, I'm suffering for love too. I know how painful this feels right now. This is a trial sent by heaven. Actually, he does have you in his heart. Otherwise, why doesn't he spend other people's money, only yours? What the hell? No. Luis is leading Willow straight into a ditch. Seeing 1.5 million waving goodbye to me in my mind, I panicked. I blurted out. Sophia cheated. With Makoto. Luis and Willow turned around at the same time and stared straight at me. Chapter 8. I really wasn't lying about this. I heard it at school today. Some classmates caught Sophia and Makoto going to a hotel together last night. They took photos and posted them in the freshman group chat, and it instantly blew up. Coincidentally, one of Sophia's ex-boyfriends was in that group. He dropped a bombshell, saying she was juggling multiple relationships and only dated rich heirs. As for Makoto, in order to win Sophia over, he lied and claimed he was a spoiled rich kid. In reality, every cent he spent showing off was indirectly squeezed out of Willow, and Sophia, afraid that Makoto would discover she was a gold digger, deliberately gave him expensive gifts to make it look like she herself was a wealthy heiress. That's right, the money Sophia used to buy those gifts. Also paid by Makoto. A perfect, closed-loop four-way love mess. Afraid the two poor souls wouldn't believe it. I even pulled up the chat logs, photos, details, everything. I didn't expect Sophia to cheat, and Luis completely emotionally broke down. He hugged Willow and cried, sis, why are our lives so damn miserable? Bro, they're so heartless. They even betrayed loyal simps like us. Sis. I did date Sophia before. You never actually dated Makoto, though. Willow cried even harder. With absolutely zero guilt, I kept munching on sunflower seeds, watching the two of them cry themselves hoarse, swear vicious oaths, and curse Sophia and Makoto for being absolute trash. In the end, Willow and Luis snatched my sunflower seeds away. They treated them like their respective simp objects, didn't even spit out the shells, just chewed them viciously. Willow said, "I swear, this time I will never, ever talk to Makoto again. He doesn't deserve my love at all." Luis said, "Even if Sophia kneels on the ground crying and begging me in the future, I will never flatter or fawn over her again." Suddenly, Willow looked at me and said, "Why aren't you mocking the two of us with your sharp tongue?" I answered honestly, "Even though I don't believe in love and don't really understand your behavior, I respect your emotions. You're already miserable enough. Your future brother-in-law cheated with your future sister-in-law. I don't need to rub salt in the wound." It felt like a knife stabbed straight into Willow's chest. She was in too much pain to speak. Luis, on the other hand, looked at me with pity and said, "No wonder you never fall in love. Turns out you've never been loved." Before I could even process his logic, my phone received a 50,000 transfer from Luis. He said, "It's okay, you still have us. Who says simps are bad?" I love the way Luis thinks. Just then, our parents came home, seeing me grinning ear to ear while Willow and Luis had red, swollen eyes. The two elders were completely confused. They asked, "What happened to you kids?" As the eldest, Luis explained everything to them. When they learned that the two of them were finally giving up being simps, our parents laughed so hard they couldn't close their mouths. That very night, they transferred another 100,000 to me. "George, well done. Hee hee, another profit secured. Before long, my little plans will come true too." Chapter 9. Willow endured the pain and deleted all of Makoto's contact information. Luis also sent Sophia a breakup message and immediately blocked her. The corners of their mouths drooped. They were about to cry again. I raised an eyebrow sharply and said mockingly, "What? Did pink eye become contagious?" They went quiet. Because of the breakup, Luis took a week off. To help him recover completely, our parents also got me time off. Every day, whenever he started missing Sophia, my job was to stab him with a few sharp words. Luis said in a despondent tone, "George, last night I dreamed that Sophia knelt on the ground begging me not to leave." I replied, "When supernatural beings block your path, there's always a reason. Turn around." He didn't want to talk anymore. As for Willow, the way to wake her up was much harsher than Luis's. Every time Willow tried to challenge the limits of life, for example, she'd say, "I want to sleep with the earth forever. If you want sleeping pills, just say you want sleeping pills. Don't get all artsy." I slapped Willow across the face. Her gloomy eyes instantly became clear. Maybe seeing Willow's face swelling more by the day scared Luis. Without me needing to say anything, he started eating properly again. Our parents were so moved they cried. "That's wonderful." Luis finally stopped eating boiled chicken breast. "No," Luis said. "I don't want to be powerless the next time something dangerous happens. I need to be able to protect my little brother." I froze. He still told our parents about the time I was surrounded and beaten up. Considering his long history of being a simp, our parents cut off his allowance for a month. Then they turned around, contacted the school, and expelled Sophia. After that, they gave all of Luis's deducted allowance to me. For the first time, I developed a favorable impression of Sophia. I wouldn't mind if she got me beaten up a few more times. Turns out, you really shouldn't talk about pigs behind their backs. The first day Luis and I went back to school, we ran into Sophia. She couldn't get into campus anymore, and didn't dare go to the Liu family either. So she could only linger at the school gate. Her face was bruised and swollen, her injuries not even healed yet, but she was already desperate to hold on to Luis, her walking ATM. She said, "Honey, don't listen to your brother or those people at school. They're just jealous of how good our relationship is. So they made up rumors to deceive you. I don't even know anyone named Makoto." Sophia reddened her eyes, squeezed out a few tears, and said pitifully, "Luis, I can't live without you. Ever since you broke up with me, I can't eat. I can't sleep. My heart has shattered countless times. I won't even blame you for hitting me. You were just impulsive. Can we get back together?" "Okay. I'm willing to change myself for you too. As long as you still love me, I'll lose weight. I'll become the type you like." Even after cheating and getting dumped, Sophia was still emotionally manipulating Luis. Luis hesitated, clearly wavering, but when he caught sight of me, he didn't dare agree. He followed me quickly into campus. Not long after, he couldn't hold it in and whispered to me, "George, actually, her attitude about admitting fault is pretty sincere." I smiled and said, "I can listen to all your overflowing feelings for that pig demon, but..." I slowly pulled out a bundle of rope. I continued, "After you finish talking, You should know how I'm going to strangle you. Luis immediately lowered his head. Heh, this gravel road really does look like a gravel road. With my warning in place, Luis didn't dare think about it, let alone mention it again. So much so that Sophia, who waited an entire day for Luis to come running back agreeing to reconcile, finally realized that I was the one blocking her. The moment she saw me, she flew into a rage, but she was afraid I'd hit her, so she didn't even dare say anything harsh. After glaring at me a few useless times, she left. Maybe today really was a good day to beg for reconciliation. After school, Luis and I headed home. Just as we were nearing the front of the house, we saw someone kneeling in front of Willow. Chapter 10. This was the first time I ever saw Makoto. At that moment, he was crying so hard that snot and tears streamed down his face. He said, "Willow, you've really misunderstood. Sophia and I have absolutely nothing going on. I even broke up with my girlfriend, because I realized that I actually fell in love with you a long time ago. I was too stupid. It wasn't until you were about to leave that I finally understood how I really felt. Can we be together? I can't bear to lose you, and I can't let you go." Willow frowned, her heart aching as she instinctively reached out to help Makoto up. But the very next second, she forcibly pulled her hand back. Suppressing her reluctance, she said, "You should leave. I won't be with you." Makoto froze. He hadn't expected that even after going this far, Willow still wouldn't soften. Unwilling to accept it, he asked, "Why did you stop liking me that quickly? You liked me for a full 2 years." Willow only touched her own face, wearing an expression that clearly said don't ask anymore. I lowered the hand that had been ready to slap someone and dialed the number for the residential security. I said, "There's someone harassing us. Please handle it." Hearing my voice, Makoto turned around. He recognized Luis but didn't know me. Hostility instantly flared in his eyes. He shouted angrily, "Who are you? What right do you have to meddle in this? I get it now. You're Willow's suitor, right? She's only refusing me because of you." I was helpless. I said, "Please don't give me the illusion that what's growing on your neck isn't a brain but a tumor. I'm her brother." Makoto was stunned. He was just about to ask Willow to confirm it, but the security guards had already arrived and took him away. Willow walked over irritably and complained, "This isn't fair. Every time I go full love-struck idiot, you slap me in the face. When my brother softens, you only strangle his neck." I replied calmly. Last time I told my brother that if he kept wallowing in long-term pain, I'd give him some short-term pain, make him a eunuch and put an end to all his troubles. Willow stopped fighting it. When she looked at Luis, there was a bit more pity in her eyes. With the trashman and trash woman finally out of the picture, Willow and Luis both got better and better. Luis's eating habits gradually returned to normal. He even started taking me out at night for skewers and drinks. He rarely mentioned Sophia anymore. More often, he sighed about all the suffering I'd gone through before. He said, "A young master of the Liu family, how can you not have proper transportation when you're out and about? Tell me, do you like a Maybach or a Lamborghini? Forget it. I'll just buy you both." He went on a shopping spree without blinking. Cars, watches, computers, phones. What's there to be embarrassed about? If you don't enjoy driving luxury cars while you're young, are you planning to wait until you're dead and race a hearse? Luis had even learned my brand of sharp-tongued sarcasm. He forcefully shoved the car keys into my hand. Then he added, "Eat more meat. That's how you stay healthy." He fed me like crazy, and didn't forget to feed himself either. I got sharp again and said, "So no more working out, no more discipline, no more boiled chicken breast." Luis waved his hand. "Discipline is nice, but it's a means, not the goal. It's like someone working hard to enjoy life, but in the process, they chase mental clarity so obsessively that they slide into asceticism. That's completely backward. Discipline should come from rational freedom, not self-oppression. Boiled chicken breast might be healthy, but I don't enjoy eating it. I like food with strong flavors. Money can't buy everything, but it can buy happiness." I smiled and handed Luis a chicken drumstick. At this point, it was basically confirmed. My brother was never going to be a simp again. Now, the only one left was Willow. Chapter 11. Willow went back to school. Although depression doesn't simply heal, and there's always a chance of relapse, she had already learned how to face life actively. She no longer called it depression. She said her soul was just temporarily trekking through a fog. But somehow, a wire in her brain misfired. She insisted on teaming up with my brother to tutor me. She said, "You can't slack off. There's such a huge family business waiting for you to manage. If you don't work hard, what if someone steals it from you?" Without thinking, I replied, "Isn't that what you guys are for? Can't I just be a spoiled rich kid and coast through life?" She froze for a moment and said, "But we are fake." I understood what Willow meant. She was talking about her and Luis being a fake heiress and a fake young master. I grinned and said, "Is my brother not a real person? Is my sister not a real person?" We're all real human beings. What's fake about that? Willow looked at me, her eyes slowly filling with tears. She suddenly turned away and sniffed hard. Louise said helplessly, "Fine. Then don't study. Worst case, your brother will just work harder." From that day on, Louise stopped pestering me about studying. Instead, every few days, he'd just transfer me money. 10,000, 20,000, 100,000. He practically handed over all of his allowance to me. "Love you, little bro. See you tomorrow." Not long after, a huge piece of gossip exploded at school. Sophia and Makoto were both arrested. It all started on the day they were dumped by Louise and Willow. Sophia couldn't find any simps anymore. Makoto lost his once-in-a-lifetime chance to marry into wealth, so the two of them got together. At first, they spent their days eating, drinking, and having fun, sweet and carefree, until the money ran out and the truth came out. Sophia discovered Makoto wasn't a rich heir at all and, furious, exposed him online. Makoto found out Sophia wasn't a wealthy heiress either, and in a moment of rage, he beat her badly. Sophia wasn't about to take the loss quietly. With one knife, she helped him resolve a long-standing problem. In the end, both were reported by Good Samaritans and put on rose gold bracelets. When we heard the news, our whole family was having dinner. Louise said gleefully, "Dogs biting dogs, serves them right." Back when Willow and I broke up with them, we should have demanded all the money back. That way, they would have been exposed and started fighting sooner. Willow added, "I've already contacted a lawyer. Even if they're locked up, they won't get away with it. They have to pay everything back." Louise said guiltily, "Sorry, Mom and Dad. I made you worry for so long. I really don't know what came over me back then. I was pathetic, obsessed with that pig Sophia, like I'd die if I left her." Willow apologized too. "I knew Makoto was playing me, but I still couldn't stop thinking about him." Our parents smiled and said, "All right, it's all in the past. Now that you're awake, that's what matters." As usual, I couldn't resist being sharp-tongued. Everyone gets the karma they deserve. Sure, you lost money and got turned into a joke, but hey, at least you gained some premium black history. Louise and Willow took a deep breath and whispered angrily to each other, "Tomorrow I'm gluing his upper and lower lips together so he can't talk." Forget it. The two of us can't beat him. The siblings behaved themselves again, because I successfully cured Louise and Willow. Our parents were in a great mood and gave me another few $100,000. I took all the money I'd earned during this time and went back to the orphanage. Beaming, I showed it to the director and said, "Director, you don't have to worry about not being able to support the kids anymore." Chapter 12. The day the wealthy family came looking for me, I had already made up my mind. I'd go back with them, find a way to make some money, invest it into the orphanage, and help the director keep things running. Because the director was sharp-tongued and brutally sarcastic, very few children from the orphanage got adopted each year. Yes, my own biting sarcasm was learned straight from him. Ever since I was little, I knew that among the adults who came to adopt children, there were bad people too. They'd nitpick a child's looks, body type, personality, and intelligence, as if children were some kind of status symbol they could show off. Only kids who were well-behaved, obedient, and academically excellent were worthy of having parents. So some children left happily for their new homes, only to come back later with severe depression, or beaten into mental illness. After learning what those adopted children had gone through, in human suffering, the director changed. He stopped being polite to prospective adopters. The sharper his tongue could be, the sharper it became. Only those who could endure his trial would be allowed to adopt. From then on, no child ever came back with problems again. But the adoption rate dropped sharply, while the number of children kept increasing. The director was barely holding on. Now, with funding secured, the orphanage could finally operate normally again. He said excitedly, "You little bastard, Uncle didn't love you for nothing." Suddenly, the orphanage security guard rushed in. "Director, we caught 4 suspicious people sneaking around. They look like human traffickers. But, they say they know George." I was completely confused. Don't tell me the traffickers from back then came back for revenge. Turns out, I was overthinking it. It was my parents, plus Willow and Louise. My parents said, "You went through so much suffering at the orphanage. We were worried that if you came back alone, something might happen, so we secretly followed you to take a look." The director was stunned. Him? Suffering? He had it the best out of everyone here. If he didn't get meat in a meal, he'd threaten to tear my roof apart. He stole other kids' toys and then turned around and accused them of bullying him. He even kept swapping my white hair dye with yellow dye. Now all the neighbors call me Director Blondie. He's a demon child. I felt so guilty I didn't dare make a sound. My parents, Louise, and Willow froze for a moment, torn between feeling sorry for the director and trying not to laugh. But all of them finally relaxed. Thank goodness, all those terrible things were just our imagination. Before leaving, My parents were still full of guilt. They promised the director they'd make a fixed annual donation of $3 million. The director was overjoyed. He jutted his chin toward me and said, "Well, aren't you going back to your home already?" I immediately ran toward my family. "See, I told you, I'm the luckiest person alive. A happy, loving home. I've got 2 of them."